every time we have one of these episodes, like I learn so much from the guests. Like I learn so much in these conversations. We learn from each other, and there's a lot of comments and a lot of things in the comments. But I want to kind of go back to this thing that me and Jacole have had this conversation before, and I've had it with my other colleagues when we're talking about these issues of equity and inclusion and how we treat each other in the workplace. Um, you know, of course, when I was joking about I'm looking at the top row of me, Freedom, and Jacole on our group. You know what I mean? But I think it's important as we're going through all these things and we're learning that each one of us learns how we play a role in this. And one of the things I've always seen in these conversations that I take away from, and we've talked about this in artistic meetings, is that I can be whatever I have about me as being a Black man in this thing, but I always have to take that a notch further and recognize my privilege as a man and as a big frame man. So I've sat in meetings and understood and heard people say things that I'm like, oh, I know you got away with that because you're a dude. You got away with that because you're a man in this room. You got away with that because you can throw your weight around, and a lot of guys don't know it, but they physically throw their weight around. And I sometimes just said stuff just because I was the other big guy in the room and I just could. just to, just to be like, you're not the only big person in this room. And I think that's important in these conversations. Freedom, telling you, like, I think that's important. We have to have that humility as we sit here and learn from each other. And even us as Black artists and workers and creators, we have to understand what is our role in pushing these things forward. We have three Black people on this call right now who we're avatars for people who don't speak up like us. We just happen to be very loquacious and very outspoken people that work in this thing. Like we just happen, yeah, you too. We just happen to be people who are very outspoken and we really speak up for ourselves and our colleagues, but everybody doesn't speak up like that. Everybody doesn't have the courage or thinks they're going to lose something if they do that. We're just all either just, too thick-headed or too dumb or too whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to say it anyway. But I just wanted to take that moment to let, for all of us to let that sink in, that when we're in this moment, we're all learning in this, and we're all looking at what's lurking inside to move this whole theater community forward, because that's what we are. We are a theater community, from the workers, from the board members, from the theater goers to everybody. We're all in this community, and I think that's really important to remember.